I'm just going to create a new job for a 4-axis mill. All right, our stock, we're going to do cylindrical along X. All right, and my 0 position, I'm going to set here. Okay, and then I'll set up another one. Insert setup. And our 0 position is going to be there. Okay, so this one, you can see it's on center. This one's on the top. Okay, so we're going to start with the center one first. We're going to add a wrapping group. Add wrapping group. Geometry is wrapped. Show is wrapped. Use stock diameter. We'll say OK. All right, so essentially we want to machine a feature. So under this wrapping group, we can load a feature. So I could say this edge right here, I want to cut. Okay. And then I want it to go down to this depth. Okay. And then the strategy I'm going to use is a profile. And let's just compute. All right. So you can see that it is wrapping to it. Let's turn the stock off for a second. Okay. We can see it is wrapping to it. But what we want to pay attention to is the side of the line, and this has to do with your arrow direction. So we could reverse that and recompute. All right, so now we can see using that wrapping group, we can have it just come down and cut that slot there. We also could, utilize some of the other options, maybe have it side rough. Maybe there's an inch of material and we want to take it in 6 passes. All right, so what that will do is, step down and work its way around. What if we didn't want it to go to clearance between each pass? We could say, let's see if we can say stay down. If we have multiple steps, should be able to get it to stay down here. Let me see here. All right. Well, it's not the worst. Let me change this. Let's go to a lead right angle. Okay. Let's go to bidirectional cutting. Okay. So now just using a standard profile with, I selected one edge, I can just profile this and then have it step over as such, right? And, if I want to do that at a different diameter, I could just copy that feature, paste it. We'll say yes. I'm going to reselect, say there, pick bottom. It's going to be there. Okay. And compute. All right, I got it going on the wrong side again. So there, you can see how this is just using a profile. Okay, so now you can see how we're putting that pattern onto that diameter. Now, engraving is probably not the best option because there's a so it can be difficult to kind of see what's going on there, right? So that's where this wrapping group, where you say, hey, don't show it, and then that makes it a lot easier to see. Okay, we might come in here and unwrap this first, and essentially the idea of unwrapping it is to just get the area that we're working with. Chain selected or not, this kind of puts it all to the left one side. We're going to just go on center. That's fine. We go to a top view like this. Now we're going to add some text, right? So we'll say, okay, let's fit the text in here. So we'll say create text. And then we'll use the BobCAD font. Looks good. Right, so I could either move it here and then rotate it, but I'm pretty sure you can just kick it on an angle this way too. Put it where I want. Okay. So now I have my geometry. It's not in it's in X and Y where I want, not necessarily in Z. Okay, so I'll come in here. I'm going to do a wrapping group, additional functions, add wrapping group. You can also add it from up here too. Add wrapping group is another place. The geometry is not wrapped. We're going to wrap to that diameter. That looks good. This is going to be an engraving routine. So we're going to do, we'll just select our text here. Okay. We can say how deep we want to go. All right. And then this is just going to be an engrave cycle. And we want to pick our tool. Okay, so what's happening right now, and I kind of warned you about this before, but see how everything is just kind of getting wrapped around that diameter, because this is matching, the 0 is here. What I need to do is I got to tell it, how far is it from here down to center line, right? So if I, let's see, if we measure this, what was it? Evaluate. So we measure this, 1525, right? So we need to go down 1525 in order to be on the axis of rotation. So this is minus 1.525. Okay, and then now you can see it will rotate along that